What is it that this Caucasian woman sees in the brothers? Years ago, we go back to our ancestors, and I often wonder if it has something to do with our physical structure, or is it something that they were deprived of for so long and they're curious? Is it curiosity, or is it something that they really feel for this brother or this man of color? And I'm really not sure.
I mean, I'd never seen him date black women, and asked him why. And my father told me that black women were too bossy, too pushy, and they think, quote unquote, that they wear the pants in the relationship. Which hurt me deeply because I consider myself part of being a black woman.
Mostly when it came to a relationship situation of a woman of color, it was always an attitude issue that I did not enjoy whatsoever. Mostly not them. It's like I haven't encountered too many black women that don't want to be heard. Put it that way. Everything they have to say is very important to them mostly, and they have to hear themselves say it. Is how I basically view it. It's pretty harsh to say. It is pretty harsh to say, but it's not something that I'm willing to tolerate if you have to hear yourself talk.
I often wonder what kind of women are they around that have attitudes, because he or they just put us all in one box and we're all not the same. Here I am, positive, loving life, just very determined to live life to the fullest and waiting on my husband to be. And when I look around and I'm out and about, I see interracial relationships, and I often wonder, it bothers me, well, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Do I not have long enough hair, or am I not light enough? What is it? Because I'm not a woman with an attitude. I think I'm very positive.
It's really odd because I don't want to say that I particularly prefer. I do particularly prefer Caucasian women, but in a sense, I don't completely discard black women, because a person is I still have, there's so many two sides of me. I prefer this, but I do understand that people are people, and a person is not the color of their skin.
Yo, what up, Nyakos? It's your buddy Philko here, put live for your mama's house, doing my thing as I usually do, bringing you guys another video based on biracials talking about blacks. There's another one, and this one was kind of focusing on the whole stereotype that black women have attitudes, they wear the pants, they're masculine, and all those type of things. Now, as for one, I want to say this before I go further. I need you guys to understand one thing. I am a big fan of white women sexually. When it comes to, non-sexual things, it's the same with everybody. I treat everybody with respect, regardless of what race they are, doesn't matter. But when it comes to my sexual preference, I'm way towards, Caucasian females, some Asian females, and Hispanic females mostly. Those are just my preferences. And the reason I'm stating these preferences is because of the video I'm about to make. It's relevant to the video I am about to make. You understand? So I have to mention it. But I'm not trying to, discourage people from, going one way, like, hey, don't date black women or something, they have attitudes. No, you have guys on YouTube that do that, but I never want to be one of those guys. You like what you like. You go out, you explore, you experience, and you like what you like. You got to find out what you like. Don't let other people tell you who's attractive or who to be with. Don't ever try to let other people tell you that. That's one of the biggest problems with people in general. They let society dictate who's good for them. Don't do that shit. As long as it's between adults, who you like is who you like. I don't care the sex or the race or whatever. The size, I don't give a shit. The amount of money, I don't care. Do what makes you happy. Stop focusing on other people. Because yeah, you look cool in public, but when you get home, it's like, damn man, I wish I had this, I wish I had that. Get what you want. You'll feel much better with life. Really, get what you want. All right, now let's get to it. Black women and attitudes. Well, you know what? I can tell you something right now. I think a lot of black women have, and I'm going to say something I never said before. I think a lot of black women have attitudes more than the average woman, yes. And I think that's partially Because of the simple fact that we let them get away with these attitudes. We let them get away with it. I notice a lot of dudes are like scared to speak up when black women are kind of freaking out. Like if I'm on a train or something and like black girls are like wigging out and yelling at somebody or something, people aren't very likely to come forward and stop them that often. They're not likely to do it. I don't know if it's out of fear or they're used to seeing it, but they're not likely to try to stop it or say anything or stand up to them. Now, I'm not saying they don't stand up to black women when black women hit them. Oh yeah, once a black woman hit somebody lately, the last 5 years, they've been getting hit back. Lovely. But when it comes to them just having attitudes and yelling and shit, I guess we're kind of used to it, so we kind of let them get away with it, and that's what makes it worse. You know what I mean? Like just picture yourself on a New York City train. You're on this train, there's people of different races, all ages. One cart, about 50 people in total, right? 3 black girls on it. They're wigging out, arguing, screaming, just yelling. They're really loud. Now, who is likely to say something, if anybody? None of the white people are probably going to say anything. Maybe an old white lady will probably say, hey, can you guys keep it down, just relax? But they're going to shut her down real quick. Nobody's really going to try to stop it. Black dudes are going to pull out their cameras, their camera phones, and start filming. Nobody's going to stop that shit. Nobody's going to stop that shit until it comes to something physical, then they might try to stop it. But no one's going to stop that. Most people are going to move to another cart. They're just going to move to another cart. Now, picture some white girls yelling. And when I say white, let's not just picture just white females who may have some kind of ghetto attitude. I mean white girls yelling about stereotypical white problems. You knew I liked Bobby. I liked Bobby forever. Why did you touch Bobby? Oh my God, I didn't know you liked Bobby. Bitch, you knew I liked Bobby. Bobby has blonde hair and blue eyes, and that's what I like about Bobby. Bitch, I told you that. And they're going at it, typical Upper East Side white chicks arguing. Somebody's going to intervene. I guarantee you somebody's going to intervene like, hey, ladies, relax. I guarantee you somebody's going to intervene because nobody's scared of them. There's no fear there when the white girls are yelling about Bobby. There's no fear there. But when the black girls are going about it over Tayshawn, they're shook. They don't want to say anything. They don't want to interfere. They don't want to intervene. They're just going to let it go. But soon those white girls start going at it, people may start laughing. Like, ha, that white bitch, Bob, they may start laughing. And maybe some people start feeling, but in general, people aren't really scared of these white girls because it's not that much of an intimidation factor with them, so they're likely to stop it. They're likely to stop it and actually shame them for behaving that way. But when black women tend to behave this way in public, people don't really shame them. It's not common to shame. They're usually applauded or filmed and, oh, shit, oh. Unfortunately, by other blacks, usually men, and other girls too. They're able to get away with this, and so it comes out to the fact that, true, not all black women are like that. No one's saying that. But the problem is, usually when we see women behaving this way, they're typically the mass majority, fucking can't speak English. The vast majority of the time, they are black. Period. I'm drinking water. The vast majority of the time, they're black in America, New York City. You know what I mean? So, how can you be mad at people for thinking black girls generally have these attitudes when, they're the ones that show these attitudes the most? Partially because people never really stop it. I don't know why. People are really scared of black girls. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, I've grown up taking public transportation. And public transportation, and especially the train, is where you learn about people. You learn about people because you're on a train anywhere. If you're traveling a decent distance, you could be there 15 minutes to an hour, maybe 1 train, 2 trains, whatever. You start to learn about people because here you got to be next to people you may not want to be next to. It could be hot, it could be cold, it could be crowded, and people start showing themselves. And the vast majority of the time, people start wigging out and doing crazy shit. It's usually black females. Typically black females. They just wig out. And they're allowed to because they're girls. And then people are intimidated to add to it, so they get away with a lot of this shit. And nobody really says anything. I don't say anything either, but then again, I don't say anything to anybody. I'm one of those who just move across the platform when it's a mutual argument. I just go, not across the platform, I just go to another cart. So if it's 2 people just arguing and shit over some sort of disagreement, I'm on my business. But if it's like somebody trying to, let's say maybe rob somebody or do something completely disrespectful to that person, for no reason, I may step in and just like move somebody, like off the train. Like, I did that one time my whole fucking life. There's a homeless man fucking with a girl. I just moved her from the cart because she was too scared to move. I'm like, bitch, just fucking move. You know, just go to the fucking cart. And I went to the other cart and everything was fine. But other than that, man, like, I don't do anything. Most people don't do anything. And it's because of the fact that we don't usually stand up and say, hey, stop doing this. Hey, stop fighting. Have respect. We typically don't say anything to the black females. And when these, especially the young ones, when these black females actually hear somebody say something like this, which is rare, they freak out because they're not used to hearing it. You ain't my fucking father. You ain't this and that. They're not used to hearing it. They believe that if you ask them to keep it down or behave themselves, they believe you're in their business, that you're not minding your business, that you are being disrespectful because they're not used to seeing it. If they were used to seeing other people constantly say, keep it down, do this, do that, stop misbehaving, have some respect. If they were used to hearing these things, it wouldn't be such a big deal when they heard it. Because people get used to shit. So if you misbehave, and 90% of the times you misbehave, someone puts you in check, you be used to it. And then you're less likely to do it because you're like, I don't want to wig out, somebody's going to put me in check. They'd only wig out when they absolutely feel they have to. But when you feel you have a free pass to wig out whenever you want, you're going to do it. You're going to wild out. You're going to wild out. You feel me? So let me know what you guys think. And I'm out, niggas. Later.